Welcome back. Now, the Health and Allied Workers Indaba trade union is marching to the Gauteng Health Department offices today, and they'll also be marching with the Independent Liberation and Allied Workers Union to the office of Gauteng Premier, that's Panyaza Lesufi. Well, the unions say they want the exploitation of health workers to come to an end, and Haitu General Secretary, that's Lerato Mthunzi, joins me now to discuss this even further. Lerato, good morning to you, and thank you so much for your time. I mean, how would you say workers have been exploited thus far?
Good morning, and good morning to the viewers at home. We believe, and we have strong evidence that over the past decade, the healthcare workers working particularly in the Gauteng Department of Health have been severely exploited through short-term contracts. I'll make you an example. In a case of those who are on the EPWP program, which is just a program for a year to give the youth of our country skills, instead of them being in a one-year contract, some of them have reported to us that they've been on those contracts for more than 15 years. We've also seen those who are on short-term contract, which was just supposed to service COVID, being extended and extended. And whilst there's gross shortages in our facilities, we're not seeing them being translated or being absorbed into the system as permanent staff. There's also our security guards that are actually just employed on month-on-month contracts through labor brokers, which we feel that's extreme exploitation because they're never having any form of job security. And that's what we are calling a stop to.
Also, with that being said, have you engaged with the Gauteng Premier? Have you engaged with the Gauteng Department of Health? If so, what has been their response, their reasons behind why these contracts have not been renewed?
Look, we've made several attempts to reach out to the current MEC of Health. Obviously, this issue backdates as far back as 5 administrations before her. But the posture that the current MEC has definitely taken is that of not engaging stakeholders. She definitely picks and chooses which stakeholders, if you're not within the COSATU strata or you're not a union that she prefers, she would not engage you. And I think this is a long-term standing issue that we've been raising, even with the previous MECs that had a demonstrated appetite to actually engage and try permanent solutions. With her, we are definitely have hit a brick wall.
Yeah, so you've reached a brick wall, you've now have a list of demands. What do those demands include, Lerato?
We are demanding that immediately those who are utilizing labor brokers, nurses that are working under agency, that should stop, and those jobs should be translated to permanent. We are demanding that all EPWP, those who have been in the healthcare system for more than a year, should definitely be translated to permanent jobs. We are also demanding that insourcing of security, where we've seen a great deal of maladministration as well as a remnant corruption, that it must those personnel of security must be insourced without any further ado. Those are demands. We are clear. We are saying exploitation cannot be tolerated. I'm sure you know it's human rights month, but where employees can only be employed for 3 months, we see them being employed even for, like I said, 15 years, 2 years, 3 years on short-term contracts, and that is quite unconstitutional, and that's a serious break and attack on the labor rights of our workers.
Yeah. I also understand that there seems to be a disgraceful, and I'm quoting here, disgraceful buddy-buddy system that you frown upon, that you know of, in as far as the recruitment process is concerned. Tell us more about what you know and the unfairness of this recruitment process.
Look, I think we've seen over the past few months a great exodus of those at the helm of healthcare, particularly CEOs of big hospitals, where we've seen a big brain drain, people leaving their roles as heads of facilities and opting to actually go to different departments, even taking junior positions. For us, that tells us there's a problem either with management, or they are not being supported adequately by the head office. But more than anything else, where there is vacancies, we've seen instead of appointments and following proper recruitment and selection processes, we've seen people being deployed because you are friendly with the current MEC. You'd actually be parachuted unwarrantedly so, without any experience, without any acumen, and you would be put at the helm of healthcare. And that's why the healthcare in the province is crippling. I think you've seen the recent Rahima Musa story, where they knew very well well that if they appoint someone that was not fit for purpose, they would be sitting with this issue, but they continue in other different facilities again.
Yeah. Have you also seen instances of nepotism, political or cadre deployment that has contributed to this issue not getting any better?
Absolutely. I think we've attacked an issue in Sebokeng where just mere contracts or employment of lower category healthcare workers being preferred for their own families and their own acquaintances, and this is something that we've called upon. I mean, we joined the community of Sebokeng Zone 17 in forcing the Department of Health yet again to do the right thing and follow due processes and employ those who are within the vicinity. I mean, we are not only seeing this with employment, we are also seeing this also with who is allowed to do business with the department, where the community around facilities are not preferred to do business with healthcare facilities, but or business people, but rather they bringing their own friends to come and do business with them.
Lerato, we'll leave it there, and I appreciate you speaking to me ahead of that planned march. I understand it will be taking place today from 9 a.m. The gathering venue will be the Library Gardens, Johannesburg, 97 President Street in Johannesburg, and then the final destination will be at the Gauteng Department of Health. That is 45 Commissioner Street right here in Johannesburg. The rain seemingly not going to be stopping that march. Lerato Mthunzi will be, of course, joined as Haitu by the ILAU, Liberation and Allied Workers Union, for this particular march to the Gauteng Premier, Panyaza Lesufi's office.